Alright, this is a bit of a happy video. Four-time bankruptcy filer Donald Drumpf, the fake billionaire who hasn't a penny in liquid assets, is now broke.
Because I don't need anybody's money. It's nice. I don't need anybody's money. I'm using my own money. I'm not using the lobbyists. I'm not using donors. I don't care. I'm really rich. I'll show you that in a second. And by the way, I'm not even saying that in a brag. That's the kind of mindset, that's the kind of thinking you need for this country.
His campaign, which is now asking for emergency funding, which was allegedly self-funding by bullshitter Drumpf himself.
I'm using my own money. I'm not using the lobbyists. I'm not using donors. I don't care.
Has never been self-funding. In fact, the campaign is now down to having $1.3 million in campaign assets. Its filing even includes that 20% of the contributions that fake billionaire and real four-time bankruptcy filer Donald Drumpf used 20% of those donations for his personal businesses. Those which he skated on paying taxes for ages. Due to loopholes and loopholes, aggressive loopholes, ones that are incredibly questionable, ones that most tax accountants, brilliant, high-paid ones, will tell you to never do because they result in audits. And despite of an audit, a free American citizen is always able to release their taxes.
Nobody that's under a regular audit, I mean, it's just a regular audit. I do almost every year, I think for 12 years, 10 years, 12 years, I get audited. Nobody would ever put out their returns that's under an audit.
Drumpf has always maintained that the reason why he won't release them is due to the fact they're under audit. Nonsense, bullshit. The IRS has said this. Despite Drumpf's whining and complaining, he's full of shit. He doesn't want to show them because he's fucking broke. His father left him a couple of $100 million in a trust. Most of it's in non-liquid assets like real estate. Drumpf has burned through half of it. He's always involved in a fraud or a scheme to try and raise an income. He was fired from that shitty show, The Apprentice, where he drew a very meager salary. But that was enough to clean his hairpiece weekly. So now he's stuck. He's in deep. The bullshit of self-funding is over. Any billionaire, alleged billionaire, especially this kind of worthless jagoff Drumpf, would throw in some money. If you have $11 billion, like Drumpf says he does, at just 10% conservative interest a year, you would be bringing in over $1 billion. So in 1 year, you would make it up if you put a cool $1 billion into your campaign. Why doesn't Drumpf? Drumpf floats the premise that he gets free publicity. Yeah, that's true. The asshole's always sticking his face everywhere, so there's always a camera on it. He's always getting some kind of exposure. But this is a guy who's filed 4 bankruptcies. This is not a shrewd person. And that's evidenced by all the idiotic, remarkably racist, sexist, bigoted, offensive, idiotic things he says. One of them, for example, he said that he knows more about ISIL than all of the generals we have.
I know more about ISIS than the generals do, believe me.
absolutely crap. I mean, this guy's a moron. So you've got the bullshit of self-funding. You've got the bullshit of this rat-headed twat saying he'll do it alone. He'll be great at doing it alone.
Let me just do it by myself. I'll do very well.
Well, if that's the case, take out your fucking billfold and finance your goddamn account, you fucking phony. Is there any bigger bullshit than this fucking clown Donald Trump? Just listen to the babble this imbecile spits out every second. He's a walking asshole that shits out constantly. Never says anything that makes sense. Never says anything that's true. It's literally bullshit every single second. The suckers who buy in to this fraud, Trump and his scams, are taken to the cleaner every single time. Even the moronic investors who let that brown-thumbed idiot finance a casino with their money. Trump doesn't have any money. He's not liquid. He used 20% of campaign funds to keep his own shitty businesses afloat. While he's manufacturing crappy shirts in China, his stupid supporters are paying for it. They probably raised the wages on him, the cost of labor, after all of his offensive remarks about China. Surprisingly, they won't kick him out there, though. They'll just keep raising the price. So watch for the price on his crappy clothing to go up, too, to pay for the extra salary that the Chinese are now forcing him to pay, since he's such a great negotiator and has such a great brain. He knows more than generals. He knows more than everyone in the world. Yeah, that's why he couldn't prevent his 4 gargantuan bankruptcies. Incidentally, those bankruptcies total up to about $11 billion, what he says he's worth. Okay, let's see the self-funder who's now down in the red welfare states. Yep, the red states are all the welfare states, and the blue states fund them. Each and every day, the white trash in those states are being paid by the blue states, by the wealthy, the educated, the non-ignorant. It's offensive what the red states talk about. They talk about bums, beggars, etc. They're all the bums and beggars. And now Drumpf is focusing on them to get his money from. He's going to go to the beggars to ask for money. That'll work out well. Right now, historically, a person who is running for office would be in the swing states, the battleground states, spending money. But then again, Drumpf doesn't have any to spend. He has $1.3 million left and sinking fast. Dinner probably cost him a bit tonight. Shave that off the budget. Now, let's see him self-fund, or as he always likes to say, go it alone. Because at this point, Hillary Clinton, President Hillary Clinton, has $48 million, and it's growing. We're contributing, largely, and we're going to keep contributing, largely. And that, and other people doing that, are going to catapult her into the same range where Obama was. She has over 700 staffers. Drumpf can only afford 30. That's if he even pays them, because Drumpf, the 4-time bankruptcy clown, has a history, a very long history, of not paying people or paying them less than was due. So let's see Drumpf raise some money here. Instead of working on his campaign, he's now begging from the beggars. Let's see how that goes for him. The Koch brothers wouldn't give him a penny. Now he's asking the penniless for their pennies. And cocksucker and piece of shit Corey Lewandowski, that woman-bashing lowlife, anti-American skinhead Nazi type, he's gone. Drumpf fired him today. He was escorted out of the building by security. This guy's an accident waiting to happen every second he opens his mouth. He's already shot himself in the face for this campaign. It's over. He's done. His numbers will drop rapidly. And what Drumpf doesn't understand, when he keeps sticking out the idea that he received more votes than any other blah, 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 actually, the GOP voted against Drumpf with the largest against vote historically. Over 15 million primary voters for the GOP voted against Drumpf, more than voted for him. Wrap your head around that, Drumpf, and get ready to go file your 5th bankruptcy, because everyone knows that's coming. Just get to it now before you're found liable of the fraud case, which will happen. You will be found liable, and you will be paying all those people. So you better get a paying job now. You're dead broke. You'll need an income to pay off those people that you swindled and scammed. Get on it, boy.